picture or pictures, I can see myself, my sister and my 2 brothers. On the left side, I can see my brother, and he is 21 years old and his name is Jean-Pierre, but we call him Pierre. On the right side, I can see my oldest brother and he is 23 years old and his name is Martin. In the middle of the frame or picture, I can see myself and my sister. My sister is 14 years old and her name is Miranda. Miranda is the girl with the yellow and white shirt and I with the green and blue shirt. In this picture, I think my sister was 5 years old and I was 3, and Pierre was 16 years old and Martin was 18. So I choose to talk about this picture because I have heard that many of you guys didn't even know that I had 2 brothers. And there's a story about my brothers and some other story that you maybe not know. So as you can see, my brothers are not like me and Miranda. And that is because they don't have the same father as me and Miranda have. So yeah, but that's what I want to tell you. But before I and Miranda didn't even exist, my 2 brothers and my mom lived in Peru. When Martin was 5 years old and Pierre was 3, my mom moved away from their dad with Martin and Pierre. And 3 years after, my mom met my dad. And then my brothers and my mom moved to Sweden with my dad. And then I and Miranda came to life. So my brothers learned to speak Swedish and they learned to know my grandpa and grandma. After 8 or 9 years, my grandpa died. He had diabetes, and when my mom told me the whole story, and Miranda, I thought it was a nightmare, but it wasn't, because I realized that it wasn't a nightmare when I saw my sister and my mom cry. The whole story began when my grandpa was in the hospital. It was a problem in his body, I think, and he needed to go to the hospital. After 1 week, he came back to my grandma, and my family visit them and to see how he feels, and yeah. So then after a day, we needed to drive home again, and when we came home, my dad needed to go back because my grandpa needed to go to the hospital again. And my dad was there for 1 week and with my grandma. And after 1 week, 1st November, around 5 o'clock a.m., my grandpa died. And yeah, it sounds really weird that I know the time, but it was around 5 o'clock a.m. The doctor called my dad and they said everything to my dad and asked if they wanted to see the dead body and say goodbye. And yes, it sounds really weird, but the story is like that. My dad said yes to say goodbye. After my dad talked with the doctor, my dad told my grandma, and of course she started to cry. They drive to the hospital after that and to say goodbye. And then my dad called my mom to say everything to her and that he's on his way home and that my mom was going to say everything to me and Miranda. So yeah, as I said, I thought it was a nightmare, but it wasn't. So after 2 weeks, we had a funeral for him, and it was a hard time to say goodbye. After my grandpa died, I wasn't that sad like Miranda was, because we can say that she did things and think things that is not good for her, but she don't do it anymore, and I'm glad for that. So I think that was all about my picture, and I hope you like it. So yeah, see you then, bye.